Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are heading to the Palm Beach Antique Fair. It happens the first weekend of every month. And so today I'm heading to pick up my mom and then head north to Palm Beach. There's nothing really specific that I'm looking for today, which is kind of nice because I can just go in open-minded. I do need to check in actually with one of the sellers who I purchased a their replicas, antique replica set of mirrors with a gold star inlay on them. One was damaged, and one I specifically asked for him to add a little bit more faux patina to the frame. And I haven't heard back from him in like a week, but I know that he'll be there and he actually lives in my neighborhood. So I'd also like to get an update on that. And yeah, I'll see you guys when we get there. I think this is really pretty. It's a really light blue color. It's coming off way more blue on camera, I think, but it's a little perfume decanter. So you put the perfume in here. I don't think I would use it as that, but it's a really cool modern sculptural object. Like if you wanted to use it on a tabletop, I think that it could be something really nice and unexpected. And in this super light blue color, I have light blue accents on the side table in the living room where I keep most of my like favorite collected items, and I feel like that might be a nice touch. This is pretty too, this little vase. I like that it has stripes on it. To me, stripes are super timeless with the little leaf handles. It's really small scale. I can't tell if it's brown or purple and white, but a really pretty sculptural object and would also be a really nice bud vase. It looks like Murano glass, but it's kind of hard to tell. I have a thing for butter yellow. And I thought that these were nice, especially because they're in a big set. They have that simple fluted detail as little like dessert bowls, just paired with all white, I think would be nice. Maybe a little sterling silver spoon. Little dessert bowls are really nice to have. The ones that I have right now, I believe, are Anchor Hawking, and they have a leaf, they're glass with a leaf etched detail, but it's nice to have a small scale bowl like that, and I do love the butter yellow. These little champagne flutes, I love. They're crystal, and he has a large set of them. I love this fluted detail, but what really caught my eye was the base, this hexagonal shape. I have some that are glass with a similar base to this from either a Barrel or maybe Williams Sonoma. I will actually link them down below because they're really nice, but it's a French style. And these are Baccarat. Really, really beautiful. These are also really nice. Too bad there's not a larger set, but they are really like girthy cups. I almost thought that they were mini ice buckets at first, but I love just the simple line detailing on them. They look like they're, hmm, I do think that they're crystal. They're just not quite as sparkly as the Baccarat, but these would be really nice, like old-fashioned cups or cocktail cups. I really love the simple shape of these bud vases. They're maybe like 4 inches tall. And I like this tone of green. I think it could be a really nice pop of color in the French blue nursery. But if green was your preferred accent color of a home, I also think that these could be really beautiful for a tablescape because there's three matching ones and they would look really nice flanking the center of a table to put florals or greenery in and add like votive candles. This is pretty, this little celadon vase. Can I get it to focus? There. It has some crazing to it, but I think it just adds to the character. It has a really small spout on the top, and so I feel like you probably wouldn't end up using this as a working vase so much with water and florals as you would just use it for a decorative object. But I love the little handles, short and squatty, and I think it's cute. That's a great color. It's a really easy color to incorporate. These are very cool. They're not ivory, but they're bone, and they're really carved up nicely. I like them. They're cool. Not really for my space, but like for a big entryway or something, they could be really cool. I love the little symbol details on the bottom and the black base, like just in a white entryway, like up against a white wall on a console, super simple, would be just a really, really fun, unique accent piece that has a good story. I really love these silver plated English tea set pieces, specifically this with the ebonized wood handle in black. I really love the juxtaposition of a silver up against an ebonized wood. So much so that I bought a black ebonized wood bar cart in hopes of displaying silver and crystal on it when we have parties. I really like the little handles on this. I like the linear fluted detailing. They're just really cool. These have the little descriptions on them, which is nice. It's 65 for this set of three, 65, which I feel is not bad. This stuff is also nice, which is English. And I like this little spoon. It has a good silhouette. And I like this detail too. I really love these two. I don't know anything about this brand, Fortnum and Mason, but I am a sucker for good graphic design and I love different texts. And so there's something sort of simple and timeless, but almost like a little bit of an industrial feel with the name printed on here with the little year underneath. They're in an off-white, which I really like, and I love the simple black text on them. 7 each. I really love this as well. I love the little glasses, specifically because of this star detailing. I would love to find a pitcher that's a large size that it can really fit a lot of water to like refill cups on a table when you're hosting that has this star detail on it. There's just something about things that are sort of celestial that I'm super, super drawn to. I don't know why, but I always have loved that, but I am not a drinker, and these are two little cups with a decanter, so not quite practical for me, but I'm always on the hunt for a little something celestial and trying to think. I don't think I have anything celestial, but I am always looking. This is also really nice if you are into playing games like chess. It's really nice to have a beautiful piece in onyx or marble that you can leave tabletop. It's more inviting. It's not something you have to take out. People are more likely to play it. And it also looks really beautiful, like on a coffee table, for example, I think is really nice. I have one in onyx. It never gets used. And unfortunately, a couple of the pieces broke in my move, but I think it's a really great piece to have if you enjoy hosting and playing games. This vendor has a lot of pretty silver items. I actually love the simplicity of this little dish just for tabletop styling, I think is really nice. It has a simple silhouette, no etch detailing or anything ornate. It's just for texture and shine, like to bring in a different materiality. Same with these little silver napkin rings. Simple, no detailing, no etching, just really beautiful and timeless. It would go with so many different things because of that. I also really like these little candlestick holders. I talk about this often, but I prefer a short candlestick holder to something with more height because candlesticks are already quite tall. You're looking at something, 8 to 12 inches or sometimes even more. And it keeps the height of the flame. To me, it's better shorter when you have people sitting across from you at a table. I also really like these tiny fork and spoons. They're not even sugar spoons to me. These would actually be for babies. But again, I just love the simple nature, the little silhouette, really beautiful. This is cool. You never really see these. This is like a little rake for crumbs on a dinner table. I actually have some, it's not quite like this, but it serves the same purpose. They're called butlers, and it's to sweep and catch crumbs off of a tablecloth, sort of in between appetizers and entrees or after dessert if you don't want to break down the whole table, but you'd like to get it cleaned up. This is also a really beautiful little piece. It's extremely lightweight, so not sure what the inside is made out of, but it looks to be like white leather with this on the front, which is honestly just so charming. You could use it for a ring holder or again, just tabletop styling. It's just a unique piece that will add some personality and a story to your space. This rug dealer is here again. They have these, they're known for their green and blue rugs. They have those custom made in Turkey. Some of their rugs are new, some are antique, but they have so many options, so many sizes and colorways, and they really do have some beautiful options. I don't need a rug right now, but they haven't been at every show like the last year and a half that I've been coming, but the last three shows they have been here. It's worth checking out. This is a pretty mid-century modern chair. The upholstery is sort of a burnt orange color where it's a little bit more nuanced. It's not so obviously orange. I love the silhouette of the wood handrails and the back. It's sort of low profile and I think it's really nice. I also love a velvet upholstery job. This is such a charming piece of artwork with all the girls under their umbrella. It just sort of makes you feel some type of way. It is so, so cute. I'm honestly tempted to buy it. I might check the price, but the accent colors that I use most often in my home are butter yellow and like a French blue, so more of like a grayish blue. But this piece of art has blue and yellow in it, along with other colors like red and green. But I don't know, it's just so cute. This fender has quite a bit of Lalique. I think that the birds are cute, but I don't know that it's something I would love over time. But what I really like is this bowl that has the lion heads around it. It sort of has more of a Venetian vibe. I really love the silhouette to it. I like that the base is black and that it has like a little bit more of like a faux finish to it. It's a little deeper in color, a little bit more of like an off-white, more ivory color than it is a bright white. And it would be a beautiful sculptural object, just decorative. This belt is really pretty, the black belt with the sterling silver pieces on it. It sort of reminds me of Ralph Lauren in that sense, but it would be so pretty to wear around the waist to accentuate the waist, have this be the focal point of your whole outfit, and just wear like black boots and a silk black slip, or tan boots and an ivory silk slip. It would be so pretty. I love these upholstered chairs. Really, it's just the upholstery backing that's shown. The actual upholstery fabric looks like it has been removed, so they would need to be reupholstered, which honestly would be a really fun project. But I love the silhouette. I love these little finials on the top. They have good detail. I like that the wood is painted white. Really, really pretty. And it makes it more special that there's a pair of two. This marble table with the black iron base is nice. Just for something unique, more of an accent table, but I like the contrast between the iron and the marble together. I'm not as big of a fan as some of these scrolly details on the side, but I really like the materiality, the combination. And then, of course, I'm always looking for a good column, a good pedestal, I should say. And this one has simple details. It's a good shape. It looks quite discolored, and I think that it's too high, but it's still pretty. I really love this piece of art. I love that it's of the Bahamas. It feels quite calm and serene. It has a little bit more of muted colorway than what you normally see from paintings of the Bahamas, which I think is nice. A lot of the times you get the hibiscus flowers and the bright painted buildings. And I especially love the way that this one is framed with the gold frame, sort of more of a simple silhouette on the frame, not quite ornate. It's really beautiful. This is a really beautiful console table for an entryway because it has the flat back and it's slender. It fits up against a wall nicely in an entryway where most of the time you don't have too much room. I love the gold detailing with the marble top. It has so much character to it while still having an overall sort of more simple profile, just with a lot of detailing. I think that it would be really beautiful in a space with a white wall and more of a pared back sort of modern feel. Have this be your focal point. It would be so, so stunning. I am obsessed with these pair of Tiffany bowls. I love these geometric shape. Actually, it has so many facets, it sort of looks like a star, kind of gives that like starburst feel, but I'm sure these are solid sterling instead of sterling plated. And with a pair of two, I think that they're beautiful as a decorative object or even tabletop. Something about the shape just really looks great. I have been on the hunt for practical purposes for a ladle for soup because I'm always making soup in giant batches. And these are both really nice. I like the overall silhouette. I love the girth of the actual ladle at the bottom. And this one is really nice. It's maybe not quite as long, but it has the little shell detail. Okay, the last show I saw a piece that was similar to this. It was brass. It was a sort of the same scale, I would say, brass abstract object. It was $50. I told myself that it was if it was here for this show that I would buy it on the spot. This one looks almost the same. It's actually supposed to be an abstract frog. It's one of a kind, or maybe he said it was one of three, but this one is 1400. So it's a no from me, but I think it would be so cool as a decorative object, just like actually how he has it styled on a column, on a pedestal. I recently bought a new pedestal and I would love to put something like this on it, but this is out of budget for today. This is a really cool lounger chair. I can't think of the history of this right now, but you see them often. It's mid-century modern. I think that it's a really timeless piece. It adds a modern touch to space. I like that the foundation of the chair is black. I actually really like it paired with the upholstery that it has, especially in the ivory color, but it doesn't look like it's in very good condition. So I feel like it would need to be reupholstered, which honestly is often a fun project, but really cool piece, really comfy piece. These yellow lamps are really pretty. I think they have a nice silhouette. It's a pair of two. I think the scale is nice. And I recently almost bought a pair of yellow lamps from Lumens, and the brand was Hudson Lighting. They were a little bit more of like a French Riviera style, like not such harsh edges, more bulbous. And they were like $1,000 a piece, I think, on sale. The sale just ended, but these are very similar, and something about a butter yellow I just can't get enough of. These are really beautiful lamp bases, a pair of two, a very large scale. They're quite tall compared to a normal lamp. So I think it would be something that you would put on like an entryway table, not so much a side table or a nightstand. And I really love the patina on them, the chippy finish, the colorway. I mean, they just look ancient. I'm not sure if they are actually ancient or if they are reproductions, but I think that they're really beautiful and they would look great with just a simple ivory shade. This really caught my eye. It's a English brand, but I really love the burgundy red with the hints of light blue. There's something really alluring about that color combination. It's a color combination that has honestly been living rent free in my head. I don't know that it's something that I would live with forever in my home, but something like this as a decorative object I think would be really nice. This is actually the piece that I originally saw, which is this dish. I think would be more practical. It has a little sugar and cream. I would like the dish just by itself. I think this, because it's low profile, I think is nicer than something like this because from the side profile, you see the white instead of the pattern, which I think is the prettiest part. Here is one of these lamps. I forget. He said there was two makers that made them. Most of them were made in San Francisco. I did not know any of this information. And this one's 500. I think I bought mine for 150 like 4 years ago, but I have one in the living room. The light, it's a floor lamp, so the light just comes out of the top, but so cool. I've never seen another one since the day that I bought mine. I really love these two little decorative objects, black and white with the koi fish. They're small scale. They're not practical. They're just beautiful decorative objects. I think that they're really cool. Again, I've been on an Asian kick and I feel like this really hits the mark. I really love also this pair of silver pharmacy lamps. There's a set of two. They're in great condition. They're sort of smaller scale, like shorter pharmacy lamps. A lot of the ones that you see are adjustable, they'll go much higher. But these are really beautiful, great condition. I love these articulating fish, something that I have had saved for so long. I keep a phone note of antique pieces that I would like to source, and this is actually one of them. It's not in the budget for today. This one is sterling silver. It's 675. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a large scale. It would look great tabletop. This one is not sterling. It's like 200 something, but these are articulating fish are just the coolest. Normally you see them tiny, like as necklace pendants, but this one's especially beautiful. It's part of her personal collection, and I absolutely love it. Same with these Nantucket baskets, so pretty. I love normally these are bone inlays, but the baskets I think are really cute. You can use them as purses, you can use them as styling around the house, but they just feel super nautical and nostalgic. These are really beautiful. These acrylic clear bookends with the coral detail on them. There's a set of two, and bookends are just something really nice to have, especially if you're a book collector. I have a couple of bookends that I love. I have to say, I use them in the rental house, but now the way that I have things in the new house, I have a lot of good storage, so I don't end up having my books out where they're propped up with bookends. If your space does have them, something like this is really nice. It's actually nice that they're acrylic because they go straight up against the books without taking away focally so much from the books themselves with a little white coral detail. It's just really pretty.
I am back from Palm Beach Antique Fair.
We had a great day. I didn't come home with much, but we'll run through the couple of items that I have here. And the one item that I saw that I was the most excited to see was that silver floor lamp, mid-century modern style. I have one at my house and I bought it and had it in storage long before we moved into this house. I bought it in anticipation of putting it in here. And it's one of those pieces that I still love it so much. It brings so much joy, and I really don't think that my living room would feel the same without it. I'm tempted to reach out to the vendor from Palm Beach Antique Fair and see if the floor lamp that he had, if it doesn't sell by the end of this weekend, maybe I'll see if he can do a better price and take that one home. I wouldn't put it in the living room. I would likely put it upstairs, like keep them separate, but it's really become a staple of my house. And in all of the years that I've been antique shopping, I've never come across another one like it. In fact, I remember when I found my floor lamp, I did some searching online and I couldn't find another one like it at all available online. And then I didn't do a deeper dive to learn about the history. But now that I spoke to the vendor at Palm Beach Antique Fair, which I'll pop up a photo of mine in my house because I'm sure you guys have seen it, just so that we're on the same page of what we're talking about. But I looked up online a little bit of history, so I'll share that with you guys now. And I flipped my lamp over to get the maker's mark off of the base now that I'm home, because I wanted to know if it was the original style from Casella Lighting, which was the brand out of San Francisco, or if it was one of the two makers who ended up reproducing similar ones. So it is from Casella Lighting, which is crazy because I got that at a very low price. The lamp, the floor lamp, is called a monolith or skyscraper torchiere. So torchiere is a play off of torch because when you turn it on, the light only comes out of the top. So it gives really beautiful uplighting like a torch would. It's distinctly mid-century modern or postmodern form. Casella Lighting was founded in 1930, and that brand started making those silver floor lamps in 1970. When I looked at the bottom of my lamp to get the information, it had the address of where Casella Lighting was. And according to the internet, that my lamp was from 1980s because that was the location of their storefront during the 80s. That shape specifically from Casella was sometimes called the pylon. The other two makers who produce very similar chrome monolith torchieres was George Kovacs and Robert Soneman. So very cool. I didn't know any of that, but I really love learning about the antiques that I have. Sometimes you fall in love with something and you're just like, and you have to have it in that moment, and you don't really go price checking or learning about the artist or whatever, life gets busy. But I love to go back and revisit things that I haven't looked up because I feel like you should just forever be a student of things that you're passionate about and that you love. And it honestly just makes you a much more interesting person. I had this conversation with my mom not long ago, but you know, she's 71, and a lot of people her age, and even like just parents in general, their job or their kids are their life, and they forget to follow their passions in their, you know, pockets of time, whether it's like sewing or painting or cooking or sourcing antiques or taking online courses, reading books to really curate and build yourself up as this really like well-rounded person. You know, if you like look at it in buckets, it's like you have your family bucket and your career bucket, but like what about your personal bucket of just learning and growing and evolving, which is what we're here to do anyway, and things that you're passionate about. So I'm an avid learner. I take all kinds of courses and I research the heck out of so many different things. I was probably like 23 when I intentionally decided that I was going to do that because I started meditating and realized, you know, the person that I want to become knows a lot about many different things and is sort of this worldly, well-rounded, informed person. And the only way to become that person was to start learning, and not from the people around me, but really diving in through courses was my gateway to learn about all kinds of different things. And now, you know, I have probably 15 different notebooks, each one on a different category of everything that I've learned, you know, in the last decade in those areas. And I can't wait to see the knowledge that I've accumulated in another decade. I think it will be really fun to teach my kids things about unique subjects. Okay. Here is my one Palm Beach Antique Fair find, and then I'll show you what I got from eBay because that just came in. But this is a original oil painting. The gentleman, the vendor who I bought this from, he typically has Florida paintings by specific artists who I can't remember his name at this time, but they have a working deal where he goes and sells his art at the fair every month. And this is a different piece that he had by a random artist, but I love that it's framed in gold, but really the piece is just so happy. Having original art really is important to me instead of prints, but there's certain things that, you know, you upgrade as the budget allows, but this just feels so happy. I love the colorways. I love that they're little girls, and I think I'm gonna keep this downstairs for a little bit, just like leaned up against the wall on a table, because it's been sparking so much joy just to look at it. But ultimately, I think that this is either gonna go in our son's nursery upstairs, or I will put it in the guest bedroom, because eventually that will be a girl's nursery. So I'm really happy to have this. It is difficult to find art that you really love, and this was a fantastic price for a piece of original artwork. I really prefer oil paintings more than other mediums. And so that was an oil painting. It's happy, it's the right colors, and it's in a gold frame. I felt like I really couldn't go wrong. So I'm really happy to have that piece. That's the second piece of original art that I found at Palm Beach Antique Fair. So it just goes to show you, always keep your eyes open for unique pieces of art, because you never know when you'll stumble across them. And then these just came in from eBay. They're Haviland, France, and they're little saucers actually for teacups, but I have 5 of them here, and I found 3 of these exact little plates from Cooper City Antique Mall. I don't know, maybe several months ago, if not longer. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna use them because it was only 3, and I typically am really choosy about what plates and things I buy, because if I buy a little plate like this, it normally means that I have already decided I'm gonna build out a whole set. So I left Cooper City Antique Mall with 3 of these. That was months ago, and I have used them way more than I anticipated. So I have a saved search now in my eBay, which you can do. You just look up the information of something that you have that you love, type it in the search box, and then you can heart that search so it saves, and it will notify you either via pop-up notification on your phone or via email when new items are listed under that search. So these came up, and it's a set of 5, which means now I have 8. For me, a full set is between 12 and 16, but these are great. It's a true white. It has a really fine, dainty detail on it, which I love. I've been using these for condiments, and even to do like a little bit of oil and vinegar for a piece of toast. They're really versatile. They do work also as saucers for tea or coffee. And because they're bright white, they go with all of the other plates that I have. So adding in a little something like this is fun, because then if I go to set a table and really curate a tablescape, I can have a plain white plate. I can use one of these as a little dish off to the side. either with butter on it or oil and vinegar, or even set a cup on top of it. And then on top of the white dinner plate, maybe put a salad plate that's printed or has much more detail. And then you can start having fun with it by layering in your tablecloths and your tea light candles and little bud vases with flowers and things. So it's fun to have stuff like that. And if you test out a little something like I did, I bought 3 of them because that's all that they had. And you end up using it and loving it, and it really sparks joy, then it's something that you can file away. I like to actually keep a phone notes and keep your eye out for that, because you'll start collecting that item and building a full collection over time, which honestly is just really fun. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please like this video and comment down below, because I was told that the algorithm on YouTube changed and that YouTube is now really favoring comments. It would help me out a lot. And I will see you guys next week, Thursday at 5 p.m. for another video. Bye.